Did God command men to cheat? This sounds crazy, but when you look at the evidence from the Bible, the things that God actually said and did, and when you compare that to biological evidence, the way men were designed, it begs the question, is man really cheating, or is he just fulfilling his divine purpose? One truth that we don't like to talk about is the fact that the very first instruction that God gave to Adam was, be fruitful and multiply. And many of us seem to remember this story as if it was an instruction given to both Adam and Eve. But Eve wasn't created yet. Eve wasn't created till the next chapter. So this instruction was an instruction given to Adam and the rest of the animals to replenish the earth. So this was a singular instruction given to Adam specifically to replenish the earth. And even if God wanted Adam to only replenish the earth with Eve, why didn't he just say that? Why didn't he just add that extra bit of information to say to him, replenish the earth with Eve, or do not do it with any other person except the woman I'm about to give to you? Why would God leave something so essential as monogamy out of the equation? If his true intention for us was to truly be with only one female, why would God not just clear that up right there in Genesis by giving Adam explicit, clear instructions about how he's supposed to replenish the earth? Just let him know it is just with one person. So when we take that knowledge and then we apply it to the actual biology of how we are created, when we compare that to the fact that men produce millions of sperm every single day, but women produce one egg once a month, are we supposed to logically conclude that millions and millions of sperm produced daily are to be stored up in the hopes that it might fertilize this one egg that comes down every month? Is that really the most ideal, logical way for the earth to get replenished? Or does it make logical sense that the millions of sperm produced daily are supposed to fertilize different eggs as the month rolls by? Isn't that a more efficient way to replenish the earth, where the sperm that's produced on a daily basis gets to fertilize a different egg throughout the course of the month? And then if we look at the biblical examples we have of all the prominent men in the Bible, all of God's favorite men who were talked about and revered and really very close men to God, every single one of them was a polygamist. Right from Abraham, down to Solomon, down to David, down to Samson. These were the men that were closest to God's heart. These are the pillars of the Bible. These were the men we all talk about and we hold in such high and wonderful esteem. But they all go to show us that God condoned a lifestyle of polygamy. God was okay with a king with 700 wives and 300 concubines. God was okay to say to Abraham, take your handmaiden Hagar for your wife. God was okay when David looked over that fence and saw Bathsheba's wife. God was okay with kings having multiple wives and multiple women. It was in the design. It was celebrated and expected. These were, as the Bible tells us, men who were after God's own heart. And when we look at all those animals that were created, all the animals that got that instruction to be fruitful and multiply, is it not odd that the human being is the one animal that tries to be monogamous? Is it not interesting that we are the one animals who try that? And even when we try it, we consistently fail. We consistently have issues with men who are unable to stay faithful, even in the happiest of relationships. There is no data that says the happier the relationship, the less likely a man to cheat. Because a man's cheating isn't tied in to how happy he is. It's not tied into how satisfied he is at home or how well his wife or girlfriend is treating him. It is tied into his being as a created individual. it is tied into the command that he got from God at creation. The command that simply states, be fruitful and multiply. The command that implores him to go out there and replenish the earth. So the more we think about this and the more we analyze the biblical evidence and compare it to the biological evidence, it gives a really compelling case to state that God himself is the one who's given the command. And when men engage in acts of cheating, and let me say this clear and say it right here, this video is in no way a video to condone cheating. This video is in no way to say cheating is acceptable. I in no way think that is okay. I feel like in every situation, every man should be honest. This is not an excuse for deception. This is not an excuse for any man to lie to any woman and promise her, oh, you're the only one I'm messing with. I ain't talking to nobody else. That is unacceptable and that is plain wrong. But in an honest way, in a way where a person has a conversation with his partner and makes it clear that I am seeing multiple people. I am interested in multiple people. And the woman willingly decides to engage in that situation, all better off. So please, this in no way is a video that is here to encourage or put forward the notion that men should cheat or men should be deceitful or men should not be held to a standard of honesty and morality. I am just stating a compelling case based on the evidence gathered according to the Bible. And if any Christian or pastor or Bible scholar has text that can plainly show where God has given instructions about monogamy, please put it forward. Put it in the chat, please. Please confront me in the chat or correct me, if I may say, in the chat. Tell me the passage and the chapter and the verse where God spells out clearly the rules of monogamy, where God at any point in time clearly articulates or states, men, stick to one woman. Men, do not step out on your women. Men, keep this woman as yours and yours alone. Because I have read the Bible and I have not found any explicit evidence of that. But there is plenty of evidence to the contrary. There is plenty of evidence that states that God does command and intend that men should be in polygamous relationships. So I leave you with this one question. Is man flawed? Do men have flaws? Or is it just society holding us to standards that even God doesn't? Is this society telling us to be something that God himself has never told us to be? That is the important question that I want us to take from this episode. I want us to think about it. I want us to talk about it. Tell me in the comment sections what you think. Is there something to be said about what the Bible teaches us about the whole idea of monogamy versus polygamy or cheating, if that's the word you choose to use? Thank you very much for watching this episode. Thank you for engaging. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is, of course, the Black Man's Bible, the channel where the talk is so real, it's gospel. More hard-hitting episodes coming, more funny episodes, more chill episodes. We talk about everything on this channel. We talk about everything, and there's more to come. Have a good one.